Welcome to episode 8 of The Story Pilgrim. Mumbai. India has been on my radar for quite a while now. It's a country very different to England, but there are also a lot of similarities. Now, before we jump in, please remember to follow, like, and comment on the Story Pilgrim podcast. Also, tell people about it. Thank you. Mumbai, India. Now, I have been here before, back when it was known to the world as Bombay. I was here 33 years ago, I reckon, when I was working on the cruise ships. I joined a cruise ship here. I was in town for about 4 days, and honestly, I have no recollection whatsoever of it. It is, I should imagine, in the 33 years it has changed a lot. It is thriving. The traffic is constant. People just everywhere. There's little stalls, people selling, they're here selling samosas. There's looks like hot lemonade. It's probably tea. I'm standing underneath this tree which has just got the roots hanging down. It's absolutely beautiful.
300-400 years old.
300 or 400 years old. Wow. That tree there is huge. It's massive. Thank you. But yeah, you got people selling all sorts of food. It's just completely opposite to what I had to walk around in Las Vegas. Oh, I'm walking on a road, didn't even realise it. In this area, you're not allowed to have any of the tuk-tuks, which are these little, motorised taxis that you can get a couple of people in. Here, you have all these little tiny taxis, little tiny cars, Ritz, Suzukis. They have a yellow top and black bottom half, but they're all very tiny. They're all 2 or 3 seaters. A very old tree and a lot of taxis. Now, because Mumbai is vast, I took a personal tour with a gentleman called Mr. Binny. Mr. Binny is from India, but has lived in England. I asked him about his story and why he was currently back in India.
Like I said, I used to own a restaurant in the UK, and in 2019, I had a burglary twice in 15 days. It was in Luton and Dunstable. So Luton town, which I had one, and that's where I had a burglary twice in 15 days, and that was something which caused me a lot of stress and hypertension, and my blood pressure shot 400 above.
What?
And I didn't knew that I had some problem with I had an AVM at that time.
Yeah.
Which I never had any complaints or any problems. But when I had this stress, when blood pressure shot, I had 400 above, so I had a brain hemorrhage. And one morning when I woke up, my face was completely down, and it was drooling. Wow. Luckily my wife was there, and she said there's something wrong, you can't speak, slurred speech and all. So we decided to go to the A&E. When we went there, they misdiagnosed me saying that it's Bell's palsy, which was wrong. Yeah. And after 4 days, they had some doubts. They called me back. They put me on steroids. So they said okay, it's Bell's palsy, steroids and all. And I continued with steroids. But after 4 days, they called me back again, saying that we need to do your MRI scan. And when I did my MRI scan, they again ran the MRI scan the same evening twice, and they were sure that I had a hemorrhage already.
Wow.
On my third surgery, they did mention that either I'll have a stroke, paralysis, or death. One of them will definitely happen.
Wow.
And in my case, I was luckily paralyzed.
Wow.
So it took me for a few months. I was completely in bed for a few months from my left side.
Yeah.
I needed always help and things like that. So the moment I got bit better to walk and all like. So I decided to move to India to do my paralysis treatment at Kerala, Ayurveda.
And what is that? What's the difference?
Ayurveda is actually the ancient therapy where it's done with proper care of like, very herbal oils and things like that. They massage.
Okay.
So they'll be like, you have to be there for 28 days. Like it's kind of like Ayurveda hospital
Yeah.
where you book yourself for either 7, 14, 21 or 28 days. But in my case I did 28 days for the longer. So I did that 28 days procedure, and so we have 6 days massage.
Okay.
One day in a week they will just give you a break, and then that's followed by proper pure Ayurvedic medicines, and you have to follow their rules like no alcohol, no non-vegetarian food, no sex. You have to be pure vegetarian.
Okay.
So I had one of my British actor friend called Robert Attico. He had the same problem. He had a spinal tumor, so he couldn't lift his arm. And he came here. Now he's doing good.
He's fine. Yeah.
He's fine. He was with me for 45 days here.
Quite a story. Honestly, you couldn't tell, even when talking with Mr. Binny, that he had experienced a brain hemorrhage. That 28 days procedure certainly did outstanding work. Now, I know that the cultural differences are many from what I grew up in. I asked Mr. Binny about the caste system in India.
In India, we have a thing called scheduled caste. This is the same untouchable. Scheduled caste means the people who are from the lowest religion, lowest caste. So, those kind of people now, the government have come up with a thing, like they get more advantage and benefits.
Okay.
Like compared to the others. So basically, whenever, for example, if you apply for a job, I'm from the upper caste, other caste, whatever, and they are from the scheduled caste, which is lower caste. But we did the same qualification. We took the same degree, everything the same, and he, being a scheduled caste, got 35%. Imagine. I being the other caste, and I scored maybe 70%, which is the double of what he's at.
Right.
And when we apply for the same job will go to him, not me, because of the caste system.
Right.
So, because when you tick the form saying that you're scheduled caste, that's it. That makes the whole difference.
That makes a difference.
Because he will get more priority.
Yeah.
They will give him a priority. Okay, he deserves the job first, and then it comes to us. So this is what used to happen. Now many people at the government jobs, like at the airport, behind the counters, they're all scheduled caste.
Right.
Many government jobs, the police stations, hospitals, where they get benefits and everything, they are all mainly given to them.
Right.
So certain things are good for them.
So when they get that job, do they like move up a caste?
They can't do that.
Can't
you
do
can't
that.
change the caste.
You'll always be.
You can't change the caste. You can't change the religion.
No.
Once you are, yes, religion one way. If you convert, that's a different thing. But
Yeah.
caste you can never change. Your surname says everything. Many
Really?
of them we can make it with the surname. Many of them we can make it.
But what happens if they become a millionaire?
It doesn't matter.
They're
You are still that thing.
Still that caste.
There are many politicians. They are from scheduled caste, but they are absolutely rich and filthy rich people.
Right. So you will always have.
It really doesn't matter. But the thing is, they know that. Okay, fine, you are that.
Yeah. Interesting. Could you?
But in big cities, no one cares. Like Mumbai, I don't even know what he is. He doesn't know what I am.
Yeah.
We don't care. But
Okay.
if you go to their villages and all, they treat that way. Because then people, if they're slightly big with big surname and all, they will treat themselves like a king. Though he must be a driver or whatever. But then back in the villages and all, he'll be like a big man. Just because of his name. Because in India, what the thing is, mainly we do the arranged marriages. You probably
Yes.
know.
Yeah.
So arranged marriages, when you do, that's where all these problem comes up.
Sure.
You won't give your daughter to somebody who's from the lower religion, lower caste. No way. we had a dowry system. You know
Yes.
dowry.
Yeah, yeah.
So whenever a female comes to look for a groom, okay, everything works out well with his job, occupation, and everything. If they think, okay, I am a bit well educated and I'm making good money, I'm based in London or whatever, so they think, okay, fine, this match is perfect. So girls' family, what they used to do, usually boys' family, they will demand, okay, fine, we like your daughter now, we want maybe 1 million rupees or 2 million rupees or whatever.
Okay, they'll say that.
Or
Okay.
yeah, because that was the practice. It's illegal now in India. You
Right.
can't ask dowries now.
Okay.
But before, the practice was they will ask you for a flat, a motorbike, or car.
Okay.
My son needs this. My son is working as a bloody doctor, so give him that, give him this. So you demand,
Wow.
and if the girl's family don't fulfill it, it doesn't work.
Doesn't happen. Wow.
But that was the main problem where many girls, they committed suicide. There were tortures going on.
Really?
This is the reason why it's illegal to ask for dowries now.
Sure.
There were many victims.
Yeah, yeah.
In India, certain parts of India, there used to be a big problem. Like whenever they find out there's a girl child going to be born, or if it's a girl child, then they were not very happy because
Yeah, yeah.
most of them, because once the girl is married, she takes the husband's surname.
Right.
She leaves completely the home and then she settles down with her husband. So there is no connection between their family.
Sure.
But the sons, they will take their surname. Generation goes on.
Goes on, yeah.
So this was another thing. And also girls are expensive affair. After 18 years, once you want to get her married,
Yeah.
you have to buy her all these gold.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's the reason why many child abortions and killings used to happen. And the moment they used to find it's a girl child, they used to kill them
Wow.
and abort them in the very late stage. And killing was like common. And this is the reason why in India it's illegal to find the sex of the baby.
Oh, really?
You can't really find, even just when the child is born, you find out.
You found out, yeah.
You don't ask, you don't request them. It's illegal. If someone lets you know, okay, that's it. Doctor
That's
will
it.
go behind the bar straight.
The doctor will go behind the bar straight. I find that all very fascinating, learning about this as we drove through the bustling city, surrounded by tuk-tuks, taxis, lorries, trucks, going past shops, parks, high-rises, street vendors. Mumbai has it all. We stopped at one of the two major laundries in Mumbai, the Dhobi.
This place is called Dhobi Talao. Dhobi means people who wash the clothes, washmen's. Talao means river. So it's basically the washmen's river. This was started by British 2 centuries ago. When they came here, they needed help to wash their soldiers' uniforms and everything. So they brought all the untouchable people from small villages, where from the lower caste people, and then they made them like a slave. They started making them work, wash the clothes and everything. So this is how this place was invented. And there's only 2 of them in Mumbai, the major ones. That's one here, and the other one is on the other side.
Yeah.
They've got Guinness World Record for cleaning numbers of clothes every day. And if you come early in the morning, probably you will see more than 200-300 people working together.
Yeah. Wow.
And in each cube like this, they'll chuck at least 1,000, like 500, like that. They'll put it, and then they keep working.
They've got the outside where they will just wash by hand and then let it all dry, and then they've got these huge big dryers in here, which if you stick your hand in there, it ain't coming back.
Ironing. Once the ironing is done, pack them up, wrap them up, and then sell them back. I'll show you the ironing room now.
There is just thousands upon thousands of pieces of laundry from the hospitals, hotels. It's all done in this area. Thank you.
Oh wow.
Even I don't do that.
Oh, thank you.
Mind your head, please.
Got it.
Alright, let's go to the ceremony.
So we come up onto the roof and there's just sheet after sheet after sheet just hanging up and drying.
It's a nylon rope, they just twist it and you just put it in. No matter how windiest weather it is, it will never come off.
Yeah.
You should try in your Baghdad.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, they've just got 2 nylon ropes that are twisted together and they just put in the sheets between them.
This is how the slum homes look like.
Yeah, there are whole families, there's little kids running around that obviously live and work in here. There's quite a mix of crows and kites all over the city, circling around, diving down. They don't really care. There's no boundaries. It's like between the rich and the poor. There's no boundaries here. Stood outside this little stall that's selling crisps, chips, rice. There's the electric double-decker bus going by, but you'll find just like loads of like there's this stall here, and then next to it there's a stall like selling samosas. Then there's a print shop. Then Raj Motors, bike service and sales. And then another little stall selling the crisps and stuff. No boundaries indeed. India, from my experience, is a cornucopia of haves and have-nots, right next to each other. We headed off to the main train terminus. Everywhere we went, people wanted to sell us something, or even just take a photo with us. But again, it's just a hive of activity.
Cheap price.
Very nice drums.
Good price for you.
No.
Small, medium, jumbo.
Thank you.
Indian instrument. For facial, mango tree. As the price.
Asda price. He's trying to sell me his bongos. It's an Asda price. So we are going to go in a. Thank you. I'm going to go underneath the road and pop out in the. So we are underneath the road now, and we're coming up towards the Victoria station. Lots of little shops down here selling shoes. There's a shop selling cameras, and then jeans and shirts. And we're going to come up now into Victoria station, and as you can hear, it's just a hive of activity. There's people sat on the steps. There's people coming in and out. Okay, so there are trains here. Very, very old, dusty trains. It's beautiful. Massive big fans in the ceiling. There's like stained glass windows at one end. Another size is a wonderful poster here for the National Railway Mazdur Union, and I don't know if that's the same guy, but there's a man. Actually, it looks like the same guy. So he's got the same sunglasses on, and he kind of looks like Colonel Gaddafi, which is quite interesting. And maybe you want to be in that union. There's a man here. He must be at least 7'2", maybe 7'3". That guy was massive. He was huge. All right, so these trains are much more posher. They're very. They look like they look like the bullet train. I haven't seen a cow yet.
In Mumbai, you will hardly see them because in Delhi it's common everywhere.
Did you see?
Yeah.
Delhi, Jaipur, and all.
Yeah, and like down alleyways.
Yeah.
Really? As I travel from place to place and always seem to be in a different place, it fascinates me how this has been here for centuries, and I'm only just experiencing it now. And it kind of feels like when you leave it, it ceases to exist. It obviously doesn't, but for me, in my moment, it is existing right now, and I'm able to soak it all up. Whereas back at home, isn't kind of existing at the moment because it's just not. It's not. I'm not there. So, yeah. It's that thought process. It's a little bit weird for me. I'm sure. Well, I hope other people have it. But yeah, it is that thing of like going, well, this place has been here for an extremely long time, and I am only experiencing it now, but there's people here that live here that experience it every day. And like I said, I'm a little overwhelmed by this all. It's fascinating. So much culture, so much history. Oh, there's a lot going on here. There indeed was a lot going on. That just blows my mind. The fact about being present, experiencing what you are right now. It's all we have, and yet how often are we ever truly present? The clue's in the name. It's a gift. Talking of gifts, Mr. Binny next took us to what was going to be the highlight of my day. We are coming down to Mahatma Gandhi's house. There's a quote here from him: "There is no God higher than truth." So we are here at his house. I'm sure Binny will tell us a little bit more. It's beautiful. It's a 3-story, 4-story house with beautiful wood doors. So if I just come over here, we have books read by Gandhi. See what we've got. We got Lenin's selected works, Mahatma Gandhi and Leo Tolstoy letters, Madame Curie, The Life of Samuel Johnson. The Crusades. Last Diaries, Leo Tolstoy. There's a whole section from Tolstoy here. Heroes, Hero Worship and the Heroic in History, Thomas Carlyle. The Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire, Volume 3, Volume 2 and Volume 1. There's just a lot of books. It's very simple, there's not much to this house really, there's just books and pictures and quotes from. It's very simple. There's a lot of areas that are all, there's lots of doors that are just closed. You are not invited to go through. But lots of pictures of him. Coming up here, another one with him walking, and this time he's got there's his staff. There's a spinning wheel. It's very sobering being here. The images you have of Gandhi is him with that staff walking. Pilgrim of Peace, 1946 to 1947. Gandhi set out on his pilgrimage of peace in riot-wrecked Bengal to establish unity between the two sister communities. His message was, "The cry of blood for blood is barbarous." I experienced it in Vegas, and as I sit here editing this episode, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is still ongoing, as is the war in the Ukraine, internal conflict in Myanmar, the Mexican drug war, Ethiopia's civil conflict, the war in Sudan. Sadly, the list goes on. We need more Mahatma Gandhis in this life, on this planet. Mahatma Gandhi was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize 5 times. Never awarded it. It indeed was a sobering visit.
Okay, so this place is called the Hanging Garden. Reason why it's called Hanging Garden, just below this park, there are 3 water tanks, and each water tank consists 33 million gallons of water. So basically almost 100 million gallons of water is just below this park, and that's the drinking water for the half of the south, like South Mumbai. Where we are now, it's in the south of Mumbai. So that's drinking water. You can see this lid here. That's the opening for the water tanks. So you'll see in many corners around, in every side. So that's how they operated in the morning time and all. So it's hanging on top of the water well. Water tank. That's why it's called Hanging Garden. Just before 120 years ago, this park never existed. And just the reason why this park was made, I will tell you why. Just next door to this park, just opposite, that's the place called Tower of Silence, which is actually a cremation ground, a place for Parsis. Like I explained to you earlier, Parsis. So Tata and Freddie Mercury and all, people who belong to the religion, when they pass away, like when they die, what they do first thing is they donate their organs to the hospital, and like eyes, heart, whatever they need. And once they do that, they bring their body to the Tower of Silence, and it's basically a 52 acres of jungle there. And in that big, huge, it's absolutely dense, like a proper forest kind of stuff. In the middle of the jungle, they have 3 wells, which looks like a normal water well, but massive in size. One is for the female's body, one male's body, and small one for the kids' bodies. Imagine if it's a male who passed away. After donating their body, they just bring them here, they slit the body into half, they apply sugar, oil and sandalwood. Once they apply them, rub it, all these big birds like vultures, eagle and buzzards, they come and start eating your flesh. After completely the body is eaten, then they push the body into that pit, which is completely concrete, because Parsis, they don't believe in earth, like earth, fire and water. Like Hindus, after we do our cremation by fire, burning the bodies, and we pour the ashes in the sea or water, Ganges. And Muslims and Catholics and Christians, they bury them, but they don't believe in any of them. what they believe is what they say when they're alive, they help people by charities and all. When they die, they help people by their organs and everything. And when body is good for nothing, so they give it back to the earth rather than disposing the body in by fire or earth. That's what they believe. So that these water park, these well is just opposite to this park. Olden days, what used to happen, whenever these birds used to eat these flesh, human beings' bodies, they used to fly on top of these water well. Sometimes they used to drop the meat, and they used to contaminate whole drinking water. So this was the main reason to save this whole drinking water problem. The mayor of Mumbai, the statue which I showed you earlier, near the station, he was the man who came after this idea. They said like, okay, let's cover this park, water tank with the park, so that people can have fresh air and evening walks and all, and our water will be also safe. This is how this park was invented by him, and they called it as a hanging garden because it's hanging on top of it.
The Hanging Gardens of Mumbai, created because birds would drop human flesh into the drinking water. Who would have thought that? India is huge. Mr. Binny told us a little more about the culture.
Like in India, we have 24 different states. Every state we have different, people, they look different, they eat different, they wear different. Many people, they believe in different gods and all. There are plenty of gods.
Yeah.
So you can expect festivals in different times and different, So this is the common thing. Like I'm from South India, Kerala. We have our own festival in August, April and all. Like our New Year starts in April.
Yeah.
So we have different times. If we go to Sri Lanka, Chennai, they have their festivals in different times.
Yeah.
So everywhere you can expect parts, they have different stories about different gods.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, Sai Baba, like the day which I said today, Thursday, that god's main temple is in Shirdi, which is in Nasik, and 5 to 6 hours drive. So that's where the main temple belongs to that particular god.
Is there a particular story about that god? Is there specific ones?
Well, it's difficult, but then he was a normal human being. He was like a beggar.
Okay.
But then he used to do many miracles when he was in the town, like in that village. Many things during the British time it happened. Many people have noticed many miracles happening there.
Okay.
He was a very ordinary, like a beggar. He used to go to every home, ask for grains, rice, so they used to donate him. But whenever there used to be a problem in particular houses or anything, he used to just go, somehow he used to be there and bless them, or they just used to find that, okay, that particular thing is completely gone. I imagine if you have kind of illnesses or paralysis or whatever, that no one can cure you, and that thing has been done.
Here we go. So he's a recent god?
It was a recent god, yeah.
Okay, so
and
there's
they
more...
have made the temple and everything in his name now. That's a very busy place now.
Wow.
And they have the movie about him. You should watch that movie. It's called Sai Baba.
Uh-huh.
Shirdi Ke Sai Baba. So you can see from the beginning itself,
Interesting.
But many miracles have happened. Even with the British, the soldiers, the main high-ranking officers, they used to object certain things what he used to do, and that was all,
Okay.
Yeah. So we have these.
Did he have family? Did he have...
No, he was never married.
No. Okay.
But apparently he was no one knows what caste he was, but then they say he was Muslim, but then he's considered to be Hindu god.
Yeah.
There are many, and he always used to say his main thing was everyone's god is only one. Like he never said that he's a god, but he always used to say that there's only one god.
Right.
That's it.
That was it.
Because we don't just...
I'm trying to describe what Mumbai is like, and I'm really struggling for words. It's massive. There's a lot of skyscrapers, not too tall. I mean, they are tall. But it just goes on and on and on. It's huge, and the traffic is just constant. I think I've said that already. There's lots of green areas. India is fascinating. When I walked the Camino de Santiago, for some reason, I got the feeling that my next trip should be to India, my next long walk. Now, I know I'm doing other walks, but like when I'm doing another long walk, it should be through India, and I'm not quite sure what that is. Now that I'm here, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm going to have to process those thoughts and feelings with regards to what that is. As Mr. Binny is explaining to us, 60% of the population here are Hindu, 25% Muslim, and then the rest of a mix of all the other religions, or not, so to speak. So when we talk about the Hinduism and the gods and all the people that are important to that, there are many, many, many places that you can go to as a pilgrim. Now, what that would mean and be is going to be some research, or I just don't know. I don't know. Something more to ponder, isn't it? Just a feeling that this is the place where I should come next. What a trip. I'm not finished with India. I will be back. A country culturally, historically rich, and the majority of the people I encountered there had a smile on their face. If you have any suggestions on where you'd like to hear the Story Pilgrim visit, please get in touch. Email me at connect@thestorypilgrim.com. Reach out via Facebook, Instagram, and X. The Story Pilgrim was written and produced by Darren Hill. Music by the amazing Anya Backer. Please follow, like, and rate this podcast. Share it with those who need to reconnect. Until the next time, keep listening.